laughs, bits, tangents. Matt and Mike, virginal fans, began watching One Piece and everything the show had to offer, and their nonsense ideas drove them to create their podcast.
Buggy the Clown is back. Fuck.
This is a One Piece podcast.
These words lured listeners to their grand show in what's now known as the funpiecepodcast.
Yayo, 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 ho ho, set sail for Fun Piece. It's the name of the podcast with Matt and Mike. Yayo, yayo, set sail for Fun Piece.
So there's a new Garfield movie coming out, directed by the guy who did Cats Don't Dance, The Emperor's New Groove, and Chicken Little.
Oh, Chicken Little. Okay, I didn't know Chicken. I like Chicken Little. Fucking
Cats
underrated.
Don't Dance and Emperor's New Groove are really good too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be starring Chris Pratt, which is whatever.
Fucking, he's. How is he the lead in everything?
I don't understand how he's Garfield.
I mean, I feel
That's
like he's more suited for Garfield than Mario.
I think the opposite. I think the exact opposite.
I hope
I would have.
I hope he does the same thing he does in every animated film he voices for. Hey, I want some lasagna.
Oh my god! If he just does like a bad Italian voice, I'd be so fine with that.
It's me, a Mario. Hey, it's me, Chris Pratt, and I'm the Lego guy. Hey everyone, it's a One Piece podcast. Welcome to the Fun Piece podcast. Welcome to the Fun Piece podcast. My name's Matt.
My name is Mike.
And we're here this week.
Matt dropped the historian's transponder snail, so
I did, yes.
The receiver's not working.
The historian this week is in the infirmary with Dr. Anthony Chopper, getting some refurbishments done. We'll be completely the same after this, but just taking a nice spa day with Anthony Chopper.
The historian's not here, so do you remember the time that Anthony Chopper really wanted to see his kids, so he posed as an Irish nanny so he could spend more time with them?
Do you remember the time Anthony Chopper fucking lost all his fucking memories and we had to see the biggest piece of shit ever again on screen? I got fucking mad during this series of episodes.
Specifically not his fault. That was specifically not.
It was
Chopper's fault.
It was
or
not
Sanji's.
It was not. But also, I was so fucking mad during these episodes, guys, folks, you motherfuckers, friends.
Did you like how much better Sanji was when he didn't know who he was?
Yeah, it was so perfect.
Or didn't remember anything.
He was still he was being a simp, but at the same time, he was also just like.
He didn't wiggle around.
He didn't say. Man. Okay. Do you want to just jump in on this?
Yeah, we can just get it. I mean, we already did a bunch of bits. So
before we jump into the episodes proper, though, this week we watched episodes 220 to 224 of the anime. If you're joining us for the first time, Mike and I are watching the anime for the first fucking. Why are you here? Mike and I.
The weirdest episodes to jump in on. You're probably jumping in on Skype or something.
Yeah, Mike and I are watching One Piece for the anime for the first time. We don't read.
Can't read.
The historian's usually here, and they watched everything, read everything. They're deeply upset because Oda's taking a 5-week break to get laser eyes. I don't know if you
get LASIK.
Yeah. Anyway, so 220 to 224. This is what arc is this called? It's like Ocean of Dreams.
No, I don't know.
I need to know what this is.
No. Oh yeah, I guess we do need to know whatever this is. Is it even really? I guess it is do we know if this was filler or not? It felt like filler.
I think. I believe historians said that it was filler, and I think I can. I think I can confirm that because fucking they talk about goddamn millennial dragons.
Oh yeah, yep.
So
yeah,
I'm pretty sure we can confirm that it's filler.
There is a thing that confused me later on though about it being filler, but also I think establishing where a certain someone gets a scar.
That fucking okay. We'll talk about that too because I also had that thought, and the historian said yes, but then no, then yes about it being filler.
What?
Or being canon. Anyway, I can also just call her upstairs and be like, "Hey,
all right,
Baron Omatsuri," and no, that's a movie. Ocean's Dream Arc. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Yes.
The people might just be starting the show and they don't want to rewatch the other stuff, so we'll just start them here. Arc.
Basically, yeah. What the fuck is that about?
I don't know. I mean, I keep reminding myself this is like a weekly show. Granted, if I was watching these weekly, I would be pissed.
Yeah.
Like, wow, the lamest fight between two cool characters and nothing else.
Yeah. Can I before we start though, I watched you were making fun of me last week about not watching the intro. You and Historian were making fun of me. And I voraciously watched the intro this time and took notes about what I experienced. I saw a guy with 5 o'clock shadow in a hat. I saw an Iceman. I saw a clown-looking motherfucker that's not Buggy the Clown.
I don't think I remember the clown.
I saw a bandaged-up Usopp holding a dial as Luffy right at Luffy's face.
Yeah.
I saw the Frankie house blowing up, and then I saw a guy with rope.
Yeah, there's like a rope guy.
Unlocking.
See the budget smoker. We definitely see Frankie soon. I opened the Funimation website and saw all the thumbnails, and Frankie is like 10 episodes away, if that.
Really? Oh shit!
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's just his fucking face right there.
That's exciting.
I think we're pretty close to that Usopp Luffy fight, too.
I mean, I'm excited if that happens. That's cool.
Yeah. All I saw was like a thumbnail with a bandaged hand.
Yeah.
And a dial, and I was like, well, it's fine. You know, you can only hide so much.
Yeah. Also, honk, honk, honk. It's been 84 episodes since we last saw Buggy the Clown. Honk, honk, honk. Buggy Wallach.
We do miss him.
We miss him so much. Fucking.
Start my smoker watch. It's been 10 years. Why do they introduce just these cool fucking characters, and we don't get to see them for so long?
I feel like it's Oda's way of like teasing us.
Yeah. I mean, I know they come back at some point.
Yeah, especially if like fucking Historian spoiled for me that apparently in the manga right now fucking Wapple showed up in like the most recent fucking issue of the manga, and I'm like, Wapple's still coming back?
No, actually, I'm so
spoilers.
Much
sorry, that's spoilers for everyone who's like way ahead of us, but like it means nothing to me right now, so I'm saying it out loud.
It's whatever.
Sorry, everyone, if that ruins something for you.
How spoilery can Wapple be? But it is like if I found out Enru or He Who Shall Not Be Named,
fuckers,
showed up again, I'd be like, oh, God. But Wapple is like,
they both showed up at the end of these episodes.
Is it
even
like,
in like phantom form?
Is it like the spoilers for Dragon Ball Super, the manga? They did the whole evil goat man arc thing. I haven't read it. I just saw somebody. Frieza shows up and gut punches Vegeta and Goku, and he's like, "I'm black now," and leaves.
It's just that.
Yeah. Well, Frieza makes more sense. That'd be like, be like if the bunny man from Dragon Ball, who could turn people into carrots, who Goku sent to the moon, who's probably dead now because the moon's blown up twice in Dragon Ball, came back, and he's like, I'm here and I can turn the world into carrots.
Hey everyone, this is a Dragon Ball podcast.
This is a Dragon Ball podcast.
Someone makes fun of us for that in a transponder snail later, and
it's either a good dig or amazing typo. All right, let's dig into it. This is not.
Yeah,
this is nothing.
This is nothing. This is a One Piece podcast. Here we go.
It might be a shorter one.
Yeah.
But because I said that, it won't be.
No. Episode
220. Titled Robin versus a Bunch of Children.
Yeah.
Background MVP is bottleneck episodes. I had a note.
Yes.
The show looks so much nicer now. These episodes weren't like the best animated, but it's just like I like that it has the solid art style. Because I've seen pictures of the new art style, like how it changes. Not super jazzed about it.
No, me neither.
I like how it looks, and it's really clean and just like solid.
I literally said, I started watching these episodes and Historian was there, and I literally said out loud, I was like, man, the animation looks so clean.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, yeah, it just like it. And then Historian gave me a look, and I was just like, it's just not like scrungly anymore.
It's true, yeah.
And then Historian said, well, that's because you've been watching it on Netflix, and now the aspect ratio changed, and it's actually correct for the television.
You were probably looking at like some like slightly artifacted, like blurrier images than I was, but even watching it in the correct aspect ratio, like this, because they were like, oh, we're getting to the big arc, like where shit really pops off. The Davy Back games, with Foxy, so we got to put this show in HD now.
Oh yeah, absolutely, the good stuff.
Yeah.
We start off with dark, shadowy Robin sitting reading a book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I wrote a water girl. Turns out to be a boy. Blows a horn, and I said water girl because I thought they were underwater while they were blowing the horn.
I think they were underwater because I also wrote a water child blows a seahorse up the butt.
Yeah, it is the seahorse.
Just blowing that seahorse right in its limber hole.
Something about nice memories, and they get to have a whole bunch of them.
Yep.
Fucking everybody wakes up and they don't remember things. Nami doesn't know where she is.
Robin finished another book.
Yeah, she did. She spent all night reading.
Yep.
She's an educated woman.
Yes.
She's an adult.
An adult, the only true adult here on The Going Merry.
I don't know how many notes you have for this. I just have like Chopper freaks out, everybody lost their memories. Usopp doing Usopp is one of my notes.
He just starts like gaslighting everyone, being like, "Oh, hello, everyone." Yeah. He's like inner monologue, like freaking out, and then he's like, "I know what to do," and he's like, "I'm Captain Usopp, and you're all mates on my Usopp pirate's ship."
Sanji has a good moment where he's like, "You're obviously lying," and he's like, "How did you know?" And he's like, "Well, I do now."
Yeah, he just immediately gives in, and Sanji's like, "Yeah, well, there we go."
There's like a deja vu moment.
Yep.
With
Robin. Robin remembers, and basically they just establish Robin remembers, no one else does. All right, let's go figure this out.
There's no rule, like it for a while. It's like you got to be asleep until you don't have to be. I don't.
Yeah. Well, it was you got to be. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, it was just like a last minute tension drag out the episode kind of thing.
Like the seahorse was like, I mean, I guess it's probably easier for the seahorse to suck their memories out of its mouth or into its mouth if they're asleep, rather than like them jumping around and stuff.
Yeah,
but punching it.
I don't know. I don't think we ever see the seahorse again.
We definitely won't. Robin calls Chopper out for hiding backwards like he always does.
Yep. I think she like drops some like logic stuff, and they like figure out that Luffy's probably the captain because his hat. Yeah.
His hat, and then the flag has his hat on it.
We spent like 20 minutes with everybody wanting to eat Chopper again. Yeah. Until Chopper smokes Luffy and Usopp.
Yeah, I was so fucking excited. I was like, I really hope Zoro just sleeps this entire fucking arc, but then he doesn't.
That would have been better for Zoro.
I know I've heard this theory somewhere, and you might even have brought it up on the podcast, that Luffy's hat being the One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, it's probably what it is. I feel like Luffy's hat might be the One Piece, and then like Shanks and it's gonna be like, you've had it this whole time. It's like in the hat somewhere or some dumb shit.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
And like Shanks doesn't give a fuck because it's Shanks, and he's just like, yeah, whatever. I'll give it to this kid. I'll know where it is.
Shanks does not seem like he wants to be king of anything.
No, not at all.
Seems like a pretty chill dude.
Yeah. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah, no, I don't. Probably.
Luffy says a mystery tree, like his ongoing mystery blank bit.
Oh yeah, there's a whole like telling Nami that she's not captured and stuff because like the tangerine tree's there and her journal and stuff is there. But she plans an escape anyway. She like packs up all the golds, books it. Zoro wakes up.
Zoro wakes up. He jumps.
Fuck this.
he puts his swords on his head and just like leaps over the side of the fucking ship and starts swimming. I will say the one thing I did like about this episode was it showed us more of like the inside of the ship and like which like I feel like they always just like gloss that over, but we saw like a lot of like the different rooms on the ship and stuff, which was cool.
Yeah, I think somebody sent me once they'd have like in Japan I think it's like the next ship they get, we know what happens. Sorry, spoilers.
We don't know how it happens, but we know it happens.
No, I just know it because of Lush and an ad of a new ship, and I'm like, what happens to Mary? I don't know. But I think they have like a thing where you can like go on the ship. Like they have like a model of it that like
that's cool
with like big ceramic versions of the characters. And I think they have like a One Piece themed gym.
Fuck yeah.
Like a marine gym or something. I don't know.
Do you think it looks like Foxy's gym?
I remember it vaguely like when we were starting this, and I think it was just a room with a bunch of cartoon looking boxes, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
Too distinctly.
Interesting.
I wish it was Foxy's gym. That'd be a great use of that character.
I will say, I know that, I mean, Historian told us that this was sort of a companion filler arc along with a PS1 game, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And like this whole episode felt like the beginning of a fucking video game.
Well,
where
we
it's like
watched Sebastian that one night start the beginning of the new One Piece game.
Yeah.
Because Historian deduced we wouldn't get spoiled by anything, and we didn't.
Yeah.
And it was just this arc.
Okay. I also brought that up because I was like, oh, it's them just losing their fucking memories.
Yeah.
And Historian corrected me and said that the One Piece Odyssey game, it's like they lose their powers, and the powers are tied to memories. So it's like a little different. Because they still have their powers here. They just don't remember that they have them or anything about who they are, how they got there. But anyway, yeah. Everyone doesn't know who they are except for Robin. Nami and Zoro
only remember
take
stuff
off
before the episodes they aired in.
Yeah, basically.
Pretty
it's
much.
like they remember everything prior to being Straw Hats. But they don't remember any of their time with the Straw Hats, which was interesting. But yeah, except for Robin. Robin remembers everything. Zoro and Nami disappear, and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Boom.
Episode
Nailed it.
221. Zoro relives the stairs incident.
Oh my god.
Background MVP Newsbird.
Oh fuck yeah, newspaper bird. Let's go.
I wrote kudos to Sanji for not being a dick and just being chill about the whole situation. He's not like, screw you guys, I'm leaving. He like most of them aren't. I figured he would have been like, I'm gonna get out of here, but he's just like, I'll see this through or whatever. Like, what else am I gonna do?
Well, he says, I believe he says right here or in moments away where he's like, they're like hanging out in the kitchen of the Mary, and he's like, this is definitely how I would have set up a kitchen. So what she's saying must be true.
Yeah, he like is just logical about it, which is nice.
Yeah.
We see the island. I think Nami is on the island, and it's just a bunch of hobbit holes.
Yeah, it looks like the Shire.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I would live on this island minus all the mind control because it just seems like a place.
Yeah, a nice
with
little
some
spot.
big snakes.
Big holes that we never see again. We see for a second. Yep.
And we got the background MVP, Newsbird. Newsbird shows up, drops one newspaper for this entire island.
Yeah.
And everyone goes feral.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't at this point. How long do you think the island couldn't be under the control of this thing for very long? Because they'd all be dead.
Well, it says later on in the episode, it's like basically, it was basically sucking all these villagers dry of all of their memories. But every day they make new memories, so it would just be like sucking down on those new memories. So specifically when the newspaper shows up, they're like, oh my God, we have any information we can actually consume. And then that gives them new memories to get fed on by this.
But that's not the issue.
Seahorse Buttman.
People don't remember what their jobs are.
That's true.
People aren't going to remember how to cook. Who's who? Like, it's just going to like they would eventually run out of food because nobody would be going to get food.
Yeah. I mean,
so it must have been like a couple days.
It's probably just a couple days, yeah. I mean, you could probably argue some of them would have like wrote little. I mean, like later, Usopp makes name tags for themselves. Maybe like they wrote little notes to themselves, like "eat today" or like "go fish so you can not die."
Man, they should have had one. Was it memento or whatever? Like
yeah,
one
the
villager
tattoos.
just covered in notes, just being like, "What does it mean?"
He's just running around to everyone, being like, "Remember to poop." You have to remember to poop.
You do it in the holes. Don't do it anywhere. Do it in the holes.
Don't do it in your pants. You have to do it in the holes in the special room in your house.
Were there a bunch of moments in these episodes, or like a few, where you thought like, oh, they were going to see something and it was going to jog a memory and like get them their memories back? Because Nami sees a little girl holding a baby and there's a pinwheel, and it's like, oh, that would just remind her of like how Bellamere found her and what's his name?
Genzo.
I was gonna say Gaimon, but that's not Gaimon. But it's nothing. It's a shot and then it's completely brushed over. I wrote the note that the kid looks like an asshole.
Yeah, the little kid, the creepy kid, looks like an asshole. He like walks up to Nami straight up and is like, "Oh, I'm gonna take your memory some more, and I'm just gonna suck on this seahorse's butt." And she, and then she's like, "Okay, bye," and then he just like leaves.
It's the kid is not a great villain.
Sanji and Luffy are bummed that they can't remember their memories, but also Luffy's like, yeah, whatever, we'll make new ones.
Yeah, just forever the optimist.
Yeah. Usopp's still freaked out.
Robin gets Chopper in on the conversation. She's like, hey there, little guy. We need your input. You're important too.
Yeah. Robin, didn't sleep, so she remembers everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone remembers a horn and a creepy kid. And they're all like, oh, we had the same dream. That must mean something.
Man, they all start... I forget if it's here or like everyone's like, well, I remember, and it like pans over to Usopp and he's like, well, and then it pans away immediately and says, I'm being ignored right now.
I mean, it's
really good.
usual Usopp shit where they're just like talking over him and stuff. It's great.
Background Usopp noises, and we haven't had it in a while. I feel like there was a lot of it in Alabasta. There was none of it in Skype, I don't think.
Yeah. I think there were a couple moments. Anyway. Sanji's passing out Baja Blast to everyone up on the deck of the crew.
We've seen that drink before.
I was so excited.
He made that for Vivi and Nami, I think, last time we saw it.
And Karoo. Karoo had his little Baja Blast special juice, yeah. Usopp makes name tags for everyone, and everyone's like, no thank you. We do not.
Immediately Sanji throws them off the ship. I forget what Sanji said. I think it's like lover boy Sanji or something.
Yeah, it's great. We get over to Zoro. He's lost, of course, but he's reliving Kuina dying all over again.
Chopper's trying to make memory medication, but that's also a non-starter.
Yep. We get Nami.
Tashigi and Kuina. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I must have realized it before, but they have the same voice actress, the woman who plays Bulma now.
Really?
Yeah. So they have the same voice actress. So
you know what else?
That they're the same person.
I don't know if
no fucking way.
I don't know if
they're not the same person.
I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but Zoro might have mentioned it too. They look the same.
Identical. And did you notice in the flashback we got a new shot of Kuina's, finger quotes, dead body?
Yeah.
But just her eyes were covered. So maybe she fell down the stairs and just hit her eyes.
Yeah, and then maybe she took 5 weeks and got laser eyes, and then joined the Marines.
Changed her name to Frankie.
Changed her name to Tashigi Frankie, and now she's. But she maybe. I got it. She got stabbed. She fell down some stairs. She got stabbed in the eyes. Lost her eyes. Took 5 weeks. Got laser eyes. Then she went to this island, but then got her memories sucked out by the seahorse butt man. But then left with the Marines and was like, well, I'm a Marine now. Tashigi is my name, not Koina. So, boom, there we go. That explains everything. Solid story. Unless
she fell down the stairs, hit her head real hard, hit her eyeballs on all the corners of the steps, and she's like, oh, what happened? Who am I? And her dad's just like, oh, thank God, I never wanted a daughter. And he's like, I don't know who you are. You're going to the Marines.
I like to imagine her hitting her eyeballs on every corner of the steps and just like flailing back and forth, like pop, 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 going all the way down. That's the best. That's great. I like that a lot. Anyway, it's fine. We get Nami. She's bathing. And she's confused about her tattoo.
God, like aggressive fan service. I was watching this at work.
So much fan service. Just like, wow, look at this awkward, elongated, strange animated body. Anyway, we recap Arlong and Bellamere.
I forgot Arlong had a bucket hat at one point.
Yeah, hell yeah,
makes me happy.
We get the Sanji, Robin are awake, and then the creepy kid rolls. What?
Yeah, the creepy kid shows up, and Luffy gets mad at him because he's in his seat, so he kicks him.
Yeah,
or punches him.
Not because he's like angry, where he's like, "I need to defeat you." He's just like, "You're sitting in my seat on my ship."
Yeah.
So then he ends up kicking the seahorse with like a bunch of like blue seahorse juice comes out its mouth.
Yeah, pixie dust.
And then Luffy remembers who he is.
Yeah, it's wild. We get like semi-competent Luffy during this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It is interesting. Like you can kind of see how the characters are just slightly different whenever it's filler.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Oda likes to make Luffy aggressively useless until there's a fight.
Yeah, and here he was like overly useful.
Mm-hmm. And people didn't get arbitrarily separated.
No,
there's like the two separations, and then they get back together pretty quick.
Yeah, they weren't like separated for an enormous amount of time where like they could very easily come together. It was like a short little bit, and it was like, oh, okay, we're back together, good.
Yeah,
which is nice. Anyway, that's the end of the episode.
That's the end of the episode. We're cruising. We
are cruising. Less than half an hour, and we're like halfway through, baby.
Should we?
It's fine. We can talk more bullshit at the end of the episode. I'm ready. We don't have a game today.
Stupid. We don't have a game. Oh, we can play the game with each other.
We could do that, or I can just text a historian and be like, "Can you put a?"
Oh yeah, that too. We can do that. Remember to join our Discord, which is the link is in the description of the podcast if you want to see the game. The game is just a random image from a future episode that we have not seen, and we have to try to guess what episode it is, roughly. Whoever's closer, it's not Price is Right rules. Whoever's closer in general wins. What do we win? Nothing. Pride?
We live bragging rights until the next week when it starts all over.
Who would you cast? The crew we have now, and what straw hat would be what Pride and Prejudice character? Also, I don't know any of the characters from Pride and Prejudice. Is there Mr. Banksy?
Mr. Banksy?
There's probably like an Elizabeth.
I know that
Hamilton.
Jarves.
You're making that up. Is it Mr. Doris?
Dorsey?
Is there a Dorsey?
I don't fucking know, man. I never watched Pride and Prejudice. Don't ask me these questions.
Fucking It's probably racist. They're all probably racist.
Just a bunch of just hoity-toity people who are talking about their pride.
I think they're
and
all
their
like,
prejudices.
Well, what do you think Pride and Prejudice is about? Because I assume it's about a bunch of rich people having arbitrary problems that are fucking useless.
I think it's about a group of racist lions.
Ooh.
Yep.
Aw.
That's it. It's like Lion King bad.
Simba. I'm not even gonna. That's where we keep the hyenas.
Everything the light touches is ours. And if you go beyond, if anyone comes in from the shadows, they're not allowed in. Sorry,
We've got 2 drinking pools.
No one's
Segregation's bad, y'all.
Everyone's allowed on Pride Rock if you're in the family, but if you're not in the family, you get the fuck out.
Listen, kid, if you're not royalty, you can eat them. You can eat anybody.
If
you see all them, they're all bowing to you because you're better than them.
If you're not on the rock, you can fucking eat them. Okay, if they're not on the rock, they're fair game. They're food.
Oh man, do you remember when
we're gonna
Mufasa talked a lot about phrenology and how you could tell that lions were better because of the shape of their skulls?
Do you remember the time that Mufasa and the rest of the family invited the other creatures of the kingdom into their Pride Rock home for a party, but then Simba fell in love with I can't even pretend to know anything about Pride and Prejudice. Is that what this was?
Is Pride and Prejudice just a party?
I feel like I've seen clips of people from like the movie. I also know that there's like some bullshit. I mean, I know there's Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, which I'm assuming is like I never read that either, but I know that's I don't fucking know.
Pride and Prejudice just always seemed like a thing that was like Jane Austen. All right.
Yeah, Jane Austen. Are you looking up the plot to Pride and Prejudice?
Oh, there is. The main character's name is Elizabeth.
Oh, all right. There we go.
Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy.
Look
what did
at
I
us,
say?
a couple of geniuses over here.
This sounds like made up. This is the most. This is like racist toward British people. I think Jane Austen was from England. Whatever.
Is that just like that like weird slice of life like Bridgerton? I've never watched Bridgerton, but I'm assuming Bridgerton. Like, oh, welcome to the party where we're going to play a fun game. And the game is we're all going to step over a stick, and then whoever steps over the stick last has to get married to this guy. And then like the conflict is like, oh, I stepped over the stick and I have to marry this guy, but I'm actually in love with this person over here, Mr. Balumsky. And then they move on from there.
It does seem like it's like there's a chart on the Wikipedia of everybody's relationship. It's like nearly eloped with, attracted to, friend, attracted to, enemy, attracted to, companion, confidant.
Do you think we're isolating any members of the motherfuckers community
no way
by making fun of
there's no way
Pride and Prejudice?
How much crossover do you think there is with hardcore One Piece fans? I don't know. And Pride and Prejudice.
I mean, if only the historian were here. We should save this question for next week. Hey, someone send us a transponder snail.
The second character on Wikipedia is Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy. Which sounds
Mr.
like
Darcy.
the name.
You said
the name
Dorsey.
of an NPC I would come up with in D&D. Who's friends with Mr. Bingley?
Bingley is the best name I've ever heard. Oh my goodness, Mr.
There's a whole bunch of Bingleys.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the filler portion of the podcast where Mike and I are going too fast through the recap, so now we're filling it with Garbo.
A theme in much of Austen's work is the importance of environment and upbringing in developing young people's character and morality.
Gross.
Speaking of books that I've never read, I did read this one eventually, but The Great Gatsby. Why did they have children read that? Anyone who's not from America, I know some of you aren't, like we had required reading in high school. I don't know how it works in any other country. You guys probably read like books that are worth reading. But like we had to read. Did you have to read The Great Gatsby?
I did, yes.
Yeah. It's all about being like, that's a book for when you're in your 30s and you're nostalgic as hell and just trying to relive the good old days, and like there's like so much theme around that and like being stuck in the past and shit, and like when you're a teenager, you're like, I don't fucking care about any of these stupid adults and their dumb parties, because like I'm not nostalgic for anything because I'm a child.
Yeah, I'm trying to like flash back to when I was like a teenager reading The Great Gatsby and trying to like have a grasp on like what what's the point? I feel like when you're a kid, it's like, oh, read these age appropriate books, and then it's like you get to high school and they're like, hey, let's read this like really dramatic bullshit that like you're never gonna want to read again, that is supposedly like revered as like the pinnacle of fiction in like American novels. I don't know.
I feel
just
like
novels in general. I wouldn't say American novels, but whatever.
I mean, I haven't been in high school for over a decade, but I feel like a big issue was that it was always like read something and then a teacher being like, why was that important? And you're like, I don't fucking know. I can't process half this information. It's like you should go in and be like, here's what we're trying to get out of this. If you can, great.
Yeah.
If you get something else, awesome. Because art's art, can be interpreted however you interpret it. Like,
sure.
But like,
hey,
like some stuff was easier. We've completely.
This is a One Piece.
Our point is that you should have to read One Piece in high school.
Can I just read through really quick? It's like the top 20 most read books in high school.
Yeah.
All right. So To Kill a Mockingbird,
which is good. You know, I feel like that's the point
good.
of that was pretty like.
It's also a coming of age story. So like, it's like age appropriate. 1984. I don't know if that's appropriate for high schoolers. It's like about like totalitarianism and like.
Yeah, I saw the play version.
I worked on that. I think you saw that one. I worked on
the theater in the round.
Yeah,
I
made a cool
Judge Dredd hoodie while watching 1984. It was appropriate.
I made a cool set for that. If anyone wants to see it, I'll post a picture in the Discord maybe. Lord of the Flies. I do like Lord of the Flies. It's also, I feel like, relevant because children. I do a bunch of these books I do like, but some of them like Animal Farm.
I remember reading Animal Farm.
It's like about
communism.
Yeah, it's a bunch of like animals, and they basically form like.
Was it anti-communism or was it pro-communism? I don't remember. I feel like it was anti-communism.
I believe it was anti, because it was like basically like talking about themes of like, you know, like fascism and shit as like this like society of farm animals like create their community. Catcher in the Rye. I never fucking read Catcher in the Rye. I just know you gotta kill John Lennon if you read it. The Grapes of Wrath. I don't know if I read that one either. I've worked on the play of Grapes of Wrath.
Yeah, I saw the movie,
which is, I'm assuming, the same thing. We don't have to keep doing this. There's a bunch of books.
No, I'm invested. Everyone, shut up. We don't care.
Shut up. Invisible Man.
Oh no.
Told from the primary themes. Race, Rachel. I feel like a lot of the books that you normally read.
Don't be racist.
Or don't be racist, which is fair. That's good. Yeah. That's a good thing to read. The Alchemist. I've never read that.
Yeah, I gotta read that one. That one was like about fate and stuff.
Okay.
If One Piece ends the way The Alchemist ends, people will not be happy.
Yeah, that's fair. Slaughterhouse 5, which
I recently bought that because one of my best friends really likes that book, so I'm gonna read it.
As someone who has read Slaughterhouse 5, I feel like it's not I don't want to say it's not appropriate for high schoolers, but like I feel like you can't grasp it as a 15-year-old.
I'm excited to read it as a 32-year-old.
Yeah, there you go. Handmaid's Tale. Patriarchy.
Never heard of it.
Really? There's literally
I know.
Okay. Great Gatsby. It says themes of interest to high schoolers in The Great Gatsby: the Jazz Age, the American Dream, wealth and class and idealism.
I mean, I guess we did always brush over like the 20s in history, because it was like people were just fine. People were happy. They had money. They were boogieing, and then everything got bad.
Yeah.
It was the 90s.
We're in that zone in society right now. So just
where everything's bad. Yeah.
Well, I was sorry. I don't mean to go off on a fucking tangent in the One Piece podcast. But I saw this, like, I watched this video all about like life is like cyclical of sorts, and like basically society has these like 80-year cycles where it's like, I don't remember what it was, but it's basically like an era of like depression, and then something else that's bad. It's like a sad time, and then a real bad time, and then like a rebuilding time, and then a good time, and then it's basically the cyclical era of that. And we're like at the end of the sad time right now. If you look at like trends, we're at the end of the sad time, about to get to the bad time, and then like another 10 years after that, it should be like the hustle and bustle rebuilding time, and then after that it'll be good. So like by the time we're like 50. elderly, we'll probably be in good times again.
Yeah.
Can't wait, baby. Can't wait.
Let's break the cycle.
The Bluest Eye. I've never read it.
I don't know what that is.
Of Mice and Men. Friendship.
I read that. An illustration for a Mice and Men's really good.
Shakespeare's Scottish play, Mackie B.
I never read that, and I had to do tech for it for a weekend until I understood that a 12 to 15 minute long scene was just about a dude saying that he's never fucked.
I was there.
I'm gonna say it. Some things are foundational, but it doesn't mean they're good.
Sure. Oh yeah. Absolutely. No. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't need to go through the rest of this list. We can get back into One Piece and get out of the tangent times.
Othello's the good one.
That was a good.
Othello's the good one.
That was a good like 13-minute tangent we did. Congratulations, Mike.
Yeah. All right. We padded it out. Everyone gets their memories back, and
that's it. Done. Episode 222.
222. Robin continues to babysit.
Yep.
Background MVP is Dr. Hero Look.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, Naked Hero Look.
Naked Hero Look shows up.
Yeah.
That's what I want to be someday. Is that man.
A naked Dr. Hero Look.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah.
Be best friends with a little reindeer man, and what I could probably be about as good a doctor as Hero Look, because he wasn't a good one.
Hey, that's fine.
Yeah.
And you blow yourself up.
Hey, you know what? It's
what everyone strives for.
Give me time.
Nami's reading a logbook from the ship, and then she's like, "Oh man, this is my handwriting. Whatever. I need to go back to Kokoyashi." Like, she doesn't like. She's like, "Yeah, this makes sense," but also like, I shouldn't be here anymore.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Is that before or after we're on the ship with everybody?
Before. That's like the very beginning of the episode.
So Luffy gets his memory back, and he goes to Chopper and be like, "Oh, we should play like we always do." And Chopper, he puts the chopsticks in Chopper's nose and mouth, and then they are in the background singing "We Are Together."
Yeah,
just wild. Do they hear that music whenever it plays?
I hope so. I hope they hear it every time it plays. I hope they hear it, and I hope every time that buzz start that also is playing for them.
Yeah,
the universe is like, we need them to hear this.
I also like, nobody likes Zoro.
Yeah, Sanji and Usopp are just like, cool. Yeah, we can go back and get our crew members, but like, we don't want that fucking guy. That guy doesn't have to stay.
Get him. He's kind of a dick.
Yeah, and then Luffy gets very serious, and he's just like, no, everyone has their job. It's like, Usopp's the sniper, Sanji's the chef, Chopper's the doctor, Robin's the archaeologist, Nami's the fucking navigator, Zoro's a swordsman. Like, fuck off.
We need Zoro. His job is swords, like every ship has.
Yeah. We see the creepy fucking kid, and he wants to get Zoro, but he's scared.
Yeah. Everybody goes to bed. Sanji, Usopp, and Chopper are like, here are our origin stories.
Yep.
It's, all the same stuff.
Remember that time when all the Straw Hats remembered their memories?
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the other time that all the Straw Hats remembered their memories?
Yeah, that was great.
Or the time that the Straw Hats remembered their dreams by remembering their memories.
Do you remember that time the Straw Hats wouldn't let their dreams be dreams?
I can't wait for episode 950. And Zoro's just like, I remember that time a girl I knew once fell down some stairs and died, and I decided I would become the greatest swordsman.
Episode like 900, and he's just like, it's been years since this happened, but it happened to me when I was but like 6 years old.
Yeah.
But it's still affecting me as a grown ass adult.
Yep.
I am not going to therapy. Anyway, it gets morning time, and what do we get, Mike? What do we get? Pew, 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 pew! The return of Robin's hat. Let's fucking go! The best hat in all of One Piece.
I almost made a note to not bring up the hat, and I was like, Matt's gonna bring up the hat.
I'm gonna bring up the hat, baby, because I love the hat.
It's fine. Robin's like, I'm sick of my good clothes. Time to... Yeah, you're wearing like... If Robin was wearing a baseball cap, she was full on like sideline soccer mom, that would be great.
Hey, everyone in the all you motherfuckers listening, and folks in the Discord, which should be one and the same if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. It's in the link is in the description. If you could send us a picture of Robin wearing a baseball hat, if that happens somewhere in One Piece, please.
There's got to be a baseball game at some point, right?
I'm pretty sure historians said there's like a baseball arc or a baseball filler episode or something at one point.
I think there's a baseball.
It doesn't matter. I mean, there's a baseball fucking gun shooting dog.
Yeah, there was some baseball in Alabasta. Everybody makes shitty rafts.
Yep, everyone makes shitty rafts. I said there's a shipwright reference once again.
Yeah, everyone's bad at making rafts. They make increasingly bad rafts. Chopper makes a house.
Yeah.
And then Usopp builds a really good raft, and he's like, I don't know how I knew how to do that.
Yeah. Nami tries to check out of the hotel.
Yeah, nobody knows what's happening. No one in town remembers. Then Luffy and company just bump into Nami after she like monologues to herself a little bit. I kind of just brushed over whenever they remembered things, because it's like, we're watching this in such a clip, like not even a fast clip. Like it is kind of helpful to have these reminders of characters, but also like I'm not gonna fucking forget Arlong. I'm not gonna forget half these people.
Yeah, we literally created a verb out of Kawina.
It's the fucking internet did. I think somebody posted in the meme dump like somebody thinking of a bunch of like villains, and one of them is a flight of stairs.
Yeah, hell yeah, it's so good. Anyway,
I wish Zoro sweated every time he saw a flight of stairs.
Just like it's so good. Straw Hats roll up to Nami. They get her back in the group because she's like, okay, I guess fine, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
Let's go beat up that kid. Fucking, they leave the waiver behind. I was very concerned about them leaving the waiver behind. It gets resolved.
Like, Sanji's like, it's filler. We can't lose anything.
Yeah, it gets resolved. We cut back to Zoro. He's training by a waterfall. Typical.
He does a Goku here and grabs the biggest fucking fish in the world.
Yeah, he does. And then he's eating it, and the kid rolls up, and he's like, you want any fish? Like, help yourself.
Do you think Zoro has worms? There's no way this thing was like properly cooked all the way through with that tiny fire.
I mean, whatever. He can probably turn it into sushi. He says onigiri all the time when he cuts things.
It's true.
Kid basically Creepy Kid tells Zoro Luffy's fucking resume. Just being like, he did this, and then he did this, and then he killed this guy. And
Zoro says, I'm sick of all your cock and bull stories. I've never heard that phrase before.
And then the kid blasts Zoro with his butt seahorse.
Gets them all hypnotized.
Yeah. And then we see Robin, and she's reading some rocks, and she says they have to get to the sea god's palace.
Yeah. She's figuring this shit out. It's a cliffhanger. And we get to episode 223. I realized that maybe it's worth reading the episode description sometimes, because this one was the description for it that I saw on the Funimation website, because I was watching on my computer.
Yeah.
Was Zoro and Luffy fight to the death. Nami attempts to orchestrate an uprising.
What?
And Sanji discovers he's willing to kick a kid in order to get his memories back. I love that one of those things is not true.
Yep.
The other is like a minute of the episode. And then Sanji discovers he's willing to kick a kid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I titled, before even watching, I titled it Sanji Kicks a Kid.
Good. Hell yeah.
Fucking just incredible.
They're walking to the Sea God's palace.
Mm-hmm.
Nami's freaking out. Usopp and Chopper are also kind of freaking out.
Usopp talks about monsters and Chopper gets scared, and then poor little man has a PhD and it will believe anything that Usopp tells him.
Yep.
But a snake wraps itself around Usopp, and Chopper and him get separated.
They fall down a hill.
This was weird to me, because I thought it was established that Usopp was not super freaked out by wild animals like this. Or is it just bugs?
I think it's just bugs, but also like it's a fucking giant ass snake wrapping around your body. Like I feel like even if you like snakes, if an enormous snake wrapped itself around your body and started grabbing you, you'd be fucking freaked out a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Zoro rolls up to Chopper and Usopp after they rolled down the hill and the snake has gone, and I wrote bandana style, which means he means business.
Yeah. Mean Zoro
rolls up, and then the three of them end up I love that there's no waiting. The three of them just like walk up the hill and they're back with the rest of the Straw Hats.
Yeah, they're like, look who we found.
Yeah, and then Zoro immediately is like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, Luffy, and he doesn't say that, he just starts attacking.
Yeah, and they just I think they both do like 2 attacks each. It's fine.
Yeah, Luffy basically tells the rest of them like, keep going ahead, I got this. And then they start fighting. The little weird fucking creepy kid leaves.
Who do you think would win in like a legit 1v1 against these two?
As it stands right now with their abilities.
Yeah.
Because we know that they get like weird, crazy fucking abilities later.
Yeah. Luffy puts on like blackface or something at some point.
Oh my god. Fucking stop. I think as it stands right now, not like in these episodes, but like this, as they're heading into Water 7, I'm biased because I love Zoro, but I kind of think Zoro would fuck up Luffy a bunch.
Interesting.
Because he could do. No, Luffy would kick his ass. Never mind.
Yeah,
I thought about it
Luffy
like a
just,
second longer. Luffy would just fuck him up. Yeah, Luffy would fuck him up real bad.
Luffy could definitely bite those swords in half, because he's done that shit before.
Yes.
And he just, I don't know. The boy's been impaled by a hook. One of those swords would be such a clean cut. Like, he'd be like, oh, that's great. This is nice and smooth. It's not a big jagged hook that went through me.
I would say, I'm going to amend my statement for a moment. If they were on the ocean, or like surrounded by ocean, like on a ship or something like that, I think Zoro would win. If they're on regular land, I think Luffy would win. Because I do think Zoro would use that to his advantage and could literally just like knock Luffy in the ocean and be like, done. It'd be fucking, it'd be wild. Sorry.
What?
I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm just throwing something out there. If it would be so fucking cool if at some point, not against Luffy specifically, but if Zoro for some reason lost one of his swords, had to get a new sword, and he got a fucking sea prison stone sword.
Ooh.
Because then he could use it against other devil fruit users too. That'd be fucking cool.
Yeah, I bet we see more of that, because the only person who has that is Smoker.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he can also just wear it on his back, which It's kind of weird that he has that.
Yeah, the more you think about it, the more fucked up it gets because he's also a devil fruit user.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also, does anybody ever punch Smoker? Because I don't think you can hit him.
Yeah. I mean, also, I feel like Sea Prism Stone does whatever
I think it's
is
just
convenient.
the tip of his sword, though. Like, I think it's just the tip of that thing. It's not like the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's the whole thing. I think it's just the tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip.
Anyway, Luffy, Zoro fight a bunch. Zoro onigiri's Luffy's chest in a big X, which
and
later on. I think we both question this because we've seen pictures of Luffy with a giant X scar on his chest.
Yeah, that's like his time skip look is he's got a big.
Yeah,
it's like the Heihachi from Tekken X.
Yeah, but like he literally gets that exact X slash in his belly by Zoro in these filler episodes, and I asked Historian when I was watching it, I was like, is this canon? I know it's a filler arc, but like, is this canon to the rest of the show? Because it's literally the exact same X. And yes, it is the exact same X, but it's not canon, is what Historian said. But I could have misheard that because I was cooking dinner and trying to do a bunch of things. I guess
we'll see it like next time Luffy takes his shirt off, if it's there.
Yeah. It makes me think, I'm like, do you think
Zoro does this again at some point?
Yeah, like, do the two of them fight again for some reason and it ends up doing worse?
I mean, we either get like another big Zoro Luffy fight, or I bet we get like a intense Sanji Zoro fight at some point.
Yeah.
They have a moment here, but
anyway, Nami tries to convince Usopp, Chopper, and Sanji to leave and in front of Robin, and then Robin basically is just like, hey, remember your dreams? Dreams are great. Dreams. Then
Usopp chooses Nami.
Yeah,
Chopper
a second.
Chopper and Sanji choose to stick with Luffy and Robin. Sanji just wants to go kick the shit out of the person who took his memories, and poor little Chopper is just like, well, Luffy called me his friend, so
yeah, so I'm gonna go with him.
Stick by him. Yeah,
his friendship.
The Luffy and Zoro continue their fight. Zoro does a spinny swords. Luffy does a gum gum bazooka, I think.
Yep.
Seahorse shows up, tries to hypnotize Usopp and Nami.
Sanji kicks the kid.
And Sanji kicks a kid.
Yep.
And the seahorse.
Mm-hmm.
And then it oozes some memory juice. Which gives, I think, goes to the kid. The kid remembers who he is.
Yeah, the kid remembers who he is, but also from that big kick, then Sanji just kicks the seahorse like a bunch more.
Yeah, he gets his memories back last.
Yeah.
But he kicks it, and then Usopp, Nami, and Chopper will go back to normal.
Yeah.
The seahorse's name in the subtitles was Noko.
Really?
Which never comes up.
It never ever comes up.
The seahorse just goes beep beep boop 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 beep boop. Then Zoro shows up.
Yeah, Chopper's translating for the seahorse, and yeah, Zoro appears ready to fight, and then the seahorse is like, I haven't played my trump card yet. Beep bop boop beep blah 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 blah. And then that's the end of the episode.
That's the end of the episode.
Episode 224.
Return of the Millennial Dragons. I was so jazzed.
I was so less than jazzed. I was so...
I hope somebody's just like, every time I get to be in charge of a filler arc, I'm putting a reference to Millennial Dragons.
I'm
convinced in Alabasta they were in an old Millennial Dragon nest.
Those fucking Millennial Dragons are ruining every industry on this planet, and I need to make reference to them every time I have a filler arc, so people don't forget that they ruined the diamond industry.
Why won't Millennial Dragons have kids anymore?
Millennial Dragons ruined Facebook. No one uses Facebook anymore.
Millennial Dragons are just giving everybody their information on TikTok.
Why are millennial dragons so sad all the time?
Don't get me started on Gen Zerpents. Background MVP was the guy at the inn who thought he was the manager, but he was a customer.
Yeah, hell yeah, that guy's the best.
My first note here is that boy is running.
I wrote, my first note was, the kid's name is Dream?
Was it?
The creepy kid's name was Dream.
It was like Dreen. Like
no, it was in the subtitles I had on when I was watching. It said his name was Dream.
That's on the nose.
Yeah, I was like, really? I mean, whatever. It was for a PlayStation game, so it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder how prominent that kid is. Anyway, all the villagers remember who they are. You're like, oh, thank God these people can live their lives and not die.
Yeah. Sanji, we cut back and Sanji kicks at Zoro and Zoro remembers Sanji, which is exciting.
Sanji does a big, I think this is like a cool moment where I was like, oh, Sanji and Zoro are going to have a fight now. This is going to be interesting because they kind of like go at it, but Sanji does like a huge kick onto Zoro, like, and Sanji's not holding back.
No, not at all.
Does like a little axe kick onto Zoro, and Zoro just like crunches into the ground a little bit.
Yeah, it creates like a fucking like crater in the ground. It's fucking awesome.
And Zoro is not affected by it at all.
Not at all. It's so that's how you know. All that training, it's paying off, baby. Yeah. It's paying off. It's just
Zoro spec'd completely into strength, and Zoro's all Zoro is all strength, Sanji's all dex.
Yeah.
That's like their stats.
Flippy boy, big beefy boy.
And then Luffy has a 20 in both. And nothing in anything else.
Well, Zoro's probably strength and constitution. With like a little bit of wisdom so he can do his weird range shit. Sorry, we're getting into D&D here, people. Luffy launches himself at both of them.
He's like, Zoro, there you are. And he catapults himself. Zoro remembers who he is, and then Sanji makes fun of him, so Zoro hits Sanji with Luffy.
Yep. And then Zoro dives in the water towards the seahorse and starts fighting it.
Yeah. There's a good moment. The seahorse is hiding. It turns blue, and everyone's like, did it just turn blue? Like, it's really obvious where it is. It could have used this time to get away.
Yeah.
Why didn't it?
Just sitting there.
Zoro dives in after it while Usopp interprets.
He's just dubbing over their voice, like dubbing their voices for them.
Everyone loves it.
Yeah. The seahorse blasts pink smoke, and then all of the Straw Hat's loved ones appear.
Yeah, everyone
except
has a loved one, except for Robin.
Everyone has loved ones except Robin.
But we don't know a ton about Robin's past. We know that since she was 9, she's been pretty much alone, though. Like, she was blamed for some catastrophic thing and has just been kind of on her own.
Yep.
So
and then the worst part of One Piece to date happens.
Yeah, we fucking see. They make villains appear in Cloud.
Make all the fucking villains appear. We see Arlong. We see Crocodile. We see Wapple. We see Don Krieg. We see fucking Eneru. And then finally, we see that piece of shit Clawhador.
Yeah, it's fine. Eneru is like a boring. He's a mediocre D tier villain. Clawhador is just a fucking piece.
E tier. He's the bottom of the barrel.
He's not even. He's on his own tier.
F tier. The tier that doesn't
even
exist.
deserve to be on the list. We don't even acknowledge him as a villain.
We're going to talk about tier list later, baby. Fuck him.
Well, for you next week, but
yeah,
for us later.
Seahorse sucks everyone dry.
Yeah, everyone's like frozen. Zoro's in the water, slowly sinking.
Yep. The seahorse grows giant.
Yeah, he transforms into
a millennial dragon.
But he's just a big seahorse. He wants to be a millennial dragon.
Yeah, he's just a big floating seahorse. He's like, I did it. I'm finally a millennial dragon.
Yeah, but he's just saying "Bee ba boo boo."
Go boo 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 boo. But the best thing happens. Luffy's standing there, no memories, but he sees the big giant seahorse and he goes, I want to ride that thing.
Yeah. Just doesn't know he has like all stretchy powers at this moment, but falls off of a cliff.
Yep.
catches his foot, launches himself back up, like bungee cord style, and then accidentally wraps himself around it and squeezes some juice out.
Which gives him back his memories immediately. So then he's like, oh, I know what to do. So then he just starts gum pistoling the dragon until all of the memes get pushed back out.
Yeah, does a big kick. Things get emotional as everybody remembers their trauma.
Yep.
Everybody's reliving all their traumas repeatedly.
Zoro brings up, he's like, was it Zoro or Sanji? One of them brings up, they're like, don't millennial dragons, aren't they hatched from eggs?
Yeah. And then Usopp brags about seeing them and
whatever. Fucking
like,
millennial
I don't think
dragon.
That was really a millennial dragon.
Yeah. Then they're going back into town, hoping they can party it up with the villagers for helping save the day.
Then the villagers pull guns and spears and pitchforks on them because they're like, the pirates stole our memories.
Yep.
Which is a fair assumption, I guess.
So they start running.
They start running, and then they go get the waiver, and then Nami just
plows everyone down
through the entire village. Because I do like when they're just like, we are pirates. Fuck these people. Like,
yeah, they're like, fuck
like,
this.
We're not gonna kill anybody, but like also not gonna try to be nice if they're gonna be like this.
Yeah. And my last, they get food and they're gonna get food and stuff. Luffy's talking about a boulder that he got stuck under when he was fighting Zoro.
Yeah, they're like, where were you, Luffy? It's like, Zoro cut a boulder in half and I got stuck under it. It's like, it was a big boulder.
Yeah. The last note I have is Robin has trauma.
Yeah, Robin has a moment where somebody like wraps around her in her memory, and then like she like comes to when somebody talks to her.
I'm very interested to see what happens with that because I just want to learn more about Robin.
Yeah, Robin's still kind of a mystery. I feel like this is all foreshadowing to some more Robin stuff. I bet she has some cool character moments.
Very excited about that.
I really hope we get some more. I mean, obviously something's going to happen with Usopp. I'm excited. I feel like Chopper has been sidelined aggressively.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because he had the most like emotional origin story out of everybody so far.
It was all most emotional, but also like I feel like we have seen all of Chopper's life.
Yeah.
Up until this point. Like we've seen the most. I mean, we've seen a lot of Nami's, but there's still like some gaps in there. But like we've seen all of Chopper's like entire life, so we know what Chopper's all about.
Similar to Usopp, like I think they need to grow as character. Like something needs to happen to them.
Yeah.
Like it's really weird to me. I don't know if they'll do something with it, but like Chopper very rarely uses his strength. He's clearly very, very strong.
Yeah.
Like incredibly strong.
I mean, I'm sure he's feeling
doesn't use it.
He doesn't use it because he's I don't know, he's probably he's a doctor. So he's like sworn
he
to
hurt people.
He doesn't want to hurt people necessarily, but so he only really uses it when he's pushed to the point of no return. The point of no return. But yeah.
I hope I don't know. I could see them doing a thing where like he fucks up the like maybe he was making the what are the rumble balls and like it unlocked something in him and he became more like ferocious, like he became a wild animal again.
A rabies ball.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like there's like something in there because he can turn into so many different things. And I can't remember if we figured it out or not, but like I feel like there's another form we haven't seen.
I'm pretty sure.
Just be thinking of the horn point.
I'm pretty sure Historian confirmed that there's like at least one form we have not seen.
So I'm guessing there's like
I don't
know, somebody's gonna like put a device on Chopper and he's gonna go feral or something, and it's gonna like be like he's like, I'm not gonna trust myself anymore with power.
Yeah. Anyway, that was the entirety of the Ocean's Dream arc, the filler arc.
We're gonna play the entire PlayStation game in Japanese and report back.
Yeah, maybe. Our next, maybe, so next we'll jump into some other stuff, but next week, you're going to get a special. It's going to be an Us filler episode, a Fun Piece filler episode, where Mike and I are going to be in a previous episode. We did a bracketed tournament of what we voted on was best devil fruit. Mike wasn't there for that. This time we're not doing a bracket. We're doing a tier list of One Piece villains that we've encountered so far up until this point of episode 224 of the anime. So we're not doing every single villain, sort of just like the major villains. It'll be Alvida, Captain Morgan, Buggy, Clawhador, Don Krieg, Arlong, Crocodile, Wapple, Bellamy, Eneru, and Foxy. That's going to be our tier list up until this point.
Seahorse onto it?
We could add the seahorse if we want, but I don't feel like we need to. I also left out like the entirety of the Baroque Works agents because I feel like most of them are like on the same level of like
goons.
They're just goons. Yeah. I mean, they're all under
big
Crocodile. So like, it's not really like, I don't think we need to go into that shit. If anyone has any issue with that, sorry.
Oh, you put on,
Bellamy?
Worcestershire Doflamingo.
Don Quixote Doflamingo?
Don Quixote Doflamingo.
Worcestershire.
I can't remember.
I mean,
his
we
name.
could do that. We haven't really encountered Doflamingo that much. We've seen him do one evil, and he's only been in 2 episodes.
Real high because of that walk, though.
But that walk.
That's all I really know about.
I hate that fucking walk. And then like we don't have like Smoker on there because Smoker's more of a. He's like
really a villain.
He's not really a villain. We have Buggy on there. We don't have Bon Clay because Bon Clay sort of
he's a straw hat now.
He's a straw hat now, baby. Yeah. Anyway, it should be a good time. We'll make our tier list next week.
We should put on the Mountain Bandit who.
I'm not gonna.
Died.
No, I'm not gonna do that. Anyway, it'll be a good time.
That ate Shanks' arm.
Previously, that I almost put the villain from that like the dude who kidnaps Luffy that Shanks.
Yeah, that's the Mountain Bandit.
I don't fucking care about that. Whatever. If people have a problem with that, go fuck yourselves. You motherfuckers. One episode.
You should put Amazon on there, the company and the woman.
Anyway, so next week we will be releasing filler episode number 5, which will be the One Piece villain tier list. And then the next week after that, we are going to be doing the Foxy's Return arc, which is just 3 episodes, but we're trying to. It's episode 225 to 228.
I forgot that was happening.
Yeah.
Man,
You're gonna have a lot to say.
Doesn't like Foxy. Get out of here.
You're gonna have a lot to say. But anyway, I think that'll be good, and then that'll set us up for the beginning of Water 7, which is very exciting. So, yeah. Hey, Mike.
Excited. Yeah.
We don't have a game today. I don't know if you want to try to do a game together. We can also skip it.
I'm gonna Google.
We can also skip it because we're gonna have a game next week.
Screenshot from episode. I'm not gonna tell you the number.
Yep. Of
One Piece. Listen to me type.
I could hear the numbers when you typed. Anyway, so folks, if you're listening to this episode for the very first time, Mike's gonna show me a screenshot, and I have to guess what episode I think it is, with no context whatsoever.
What's great is that I don't know if this is from the episode or not.
Perfect, even better. We can also skip this bit, Mike.
No, I hit enter. It's sent.
All right. If you want to see what the image is, you can play along too, and head to our Discord. The link, of course, is in the description. What the fuck is this? I don't know. Like this.
It's like a nutcracker.
It's a weird nutcracker man with like a mustache.
Do you think?
It's like
a wooden suit or something?
Do you think that's a character that was turned into a nutcracker, or do you think that's?
I bet Usopp's in there.
I'm going just because I'm going to say episode 225.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. That's what I'm choosing. Yes.
It's episode 666.
I hope that's the devil. It's terrifying. Good. I love it.
It's me, the devil.
It's me, the devil. I'm a nutcracker. I also am a swordsman. Hello. I kind of look like Zorro. I have a tall red turtleneck on. Ha 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 ha.
He does, like, you saying he looks like Zorro?
Not
Roronoa?
Not Roronoa Zorro, like the mask of Zorro.
Like, yeah, okay.
Without his mask on. Anyway,
oh yeah, we got transponder snails.
We got transponder snails, baby. Would you like me to read the first one?
Yes.
All right. This, of course, our weekly discussion topic from none other than Ben Tenaru. Hey, Matt, Mike, and Historian. The battle that y'all choose. We are currently in a tournament bracket with Ben Tenaru that Ben Tenaru is giving us at random. The battle that we chose for this week is Josuke versus Sanji. I'd be surprised if you don't do the funny Sanji voice. I don't think we've done it this episode. The Historian has chosen the next tournament and knows what to expect. There's one battle left until the second phase, and that battle is to be controlled.
Maybe to be continued.
Yeah. Sincerely, Ben Tenaru. P.S. I was stupid and I said 2 and 4. I meant 2 and 8. I'm glad y'all didn't choose 4. Yeah, we chose right. We were on the same wavelength, baby. We did it.
We're good.
Josuke versus Sanji.
You don't know Josuke.
Sanji.
So I know I'm not really an anime guy, but I have not watched a lot of JoJo. And I was saying to Matt before before we started recording, I don't even really think you need to fucking watch all the JoJo. Even people were like, part 3 is great. Part 3 is literally 2 seasons of educational, like, edutainment for teen boys. It's like, look at all the bathrooms around the world. This is how people poop in Egypt. This is how people poop in India.
Is that really how it is?
There's so much education about
pooping.
That's like the dude who made it. Iraqi, I don't know his name.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna butcher it. He was like, I just wanted to teach young boys about the world. So he was like, in Egypt they would use sand to wipe their butts.
That sounds.
There is like a video game boss.
Okay, that sounds terrible. Sand to wipe your butt.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's true. It's largely pointless. So much of the Stardust Crusaders arc is just pointless. You can kind of just go to Jotaro versus Dio and you're like, this is just a cool fight.
Yeah.
That part's great. Part 4 is, I think, I'm going to say it, the only good part of JoJo. Because you get Jotaro, you get fun antics in a small town, you get a guy with like goofy hair who gets angry if people get upset at his hair, and like it's just a good time. It's just a bunch of weird dudes, all banger episodes, and then it has a really, really good villain. Like amazing. I will give JoJo that. JoJo fucking kills it at villains. One Piece should take notes about how to actually do villains, because JoJo has stakes. They will kill characters.
Yeah.
And
except for Dio.
Oh no,
I watched part 1. He got beheaded, but apparently he comes back. So
he gets better.
Spoilers.
And then he gets worse.
Anyway, I don't know that much about Josuke. I know more about Sanji, so I'm going to choose Sanji.
Josuke's father, Jonathan Joestar, does make a Weird Al Yankovic reference.
I changed my mind. I choose Josuke.
I don't think Josuke listens to Weird Al Yankovic.
All right, I change it back. Sanji. Sanji is my answer. Sanji would kick the fuck out of Josuke.
Do you know how about stands and stuff with JoJo?
No.
So people's willpower, certain people have this specific willpower that forms it usually into a big
wasn't that called Hamon? Wasn't that called Hamon?
So there's Hamon, which is completely dropped after a while. That's just good for killing vampires.
Okay.
He was basically this is lame. Everybody gets ghosts that are representations of their soul. Josuke is a pretty boy with a big heart on his forehead, who his ghost can punch things and heal them by punching.
Yes, I've seen this in Jump Force.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's like a serial killer. And he punches the serial killer and a rock and then fuses them together. So he can do some fucked up shit.
Nice.
But he can also like stop somebody, like he can heal somebody if they're about to die. So I think what he would do is I think he would punch Sanji in the eyebrows and straighten them. And I think that would kill Sanji.
Oh, okay. Well, we're at...
But also, I do think Sanji would win this.
All right. Yes, I agree. I think Sanji would win. Sanji! We've chosen Sanji Bentenru.
Oh, man. I'm just going to talk about JoJo for a second. I really like...
For a second?
Again. I keep talking about it. There's such a good cooking episode that all takes place in a restaurant.
Ooh.
That is the episode. If I'm like, okay, if I'm going to show somebody JoJo, I show them that episode.
Who's cooking?
It is a French dude.
Yep.
I don't remember his name, but Sanji would like him. Him and Sanji would vibe.
Do you second question, Sanji versus that French dude in a cooking competition, who wins?
Ooh.
I don't know his name or anything about him, but I
think the French dude. I think the guy from 100%. Because he literally spoilers for part 4 of JoJo.
J'accuse.
I'm going to give you 5 seconds to pause this podcast and go watch the episode about the Italian. Oh, sorry, it's an Italian restaurant. I think he's Italian. Sorry, it's an Italian restaurant. Go watch that episode.
Hey,
4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so he has the power to cook things that have healing properties.
Ooh.
And I forget if it's his power that helps it or he's just so good at cooking, but he like literally gives a dude spring water that's so filtered and pure it makes him cry until it purifies his eyes and like improves his vision.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's really good.
Hey, everyone, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to go pause this podcast and follow us on Spotify and give us a great rating and also join the Discord. And tell every single one of your friends about the Fun Piece podcast because it's a great podcast and we love that you're listening.
Yeah, send us a transponder snail at funpiecepodcast@gmail.com.
I wasn't finishing the plugs there. I was trying to steal your bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're back.
What? Oh, do you want us to get me to get some hate mail, Matt?
Yeah.
All right, I think I already said part 3 is lame. I think part 5 was boring as fuck, and I couldn't finish it because it was stupid and people wouldn't stop explaining everything.
Goodness. There's been
just boring, and the hair gets too dumb.
Yeah,
the hair gets way too dumb.
I'm really sorry that I haven't watched enough of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure to contribute to this conversation.
It's fine.
Yeah. Hey,
there's no shoulds. You know, you watch it if you want to watch it, but you're not. Honestly, you're gonna have a full, lovely life without ever watching JoJo.
Yeah, because there's One Piece still coming out.
So much fucking One Piece.
Apparently, I read some article that apparently the newest episode coming out or something like that is going to be like an hour long or some shit. I don't know.
Jesus, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever. We have another transponder snail.
Oh, we do. Yeah. I was ready to wrap it up. From somebody new.
Yeah.
We don't have a name. Oh, I guess we do. New fan Roro.
Roro.
Just started binging your Dragon Ball podcast yesterday. Now they're going to call it a JoJo podcast. I'm enjoying the new fans. I'm going to start over. Just started binging your Dragon Ball podcast yesterday. I'm enjoying the new fans joining the One Piece journey.
Woo!
As far as I know, there are 2 podcasts or pods that don't include manga in their anime recaps, so we're apparently a minority there.
Oh.
I'm completely caught up except for the latest movie because possible spoilers and would love to join your Discord. You guys are very entertaining, and I like hearing new guys' thoughts. Keep going. Yeah, I feel like we got to have some hot takes.
I mean, you went on a rant about Foxy last episode, which apparently most people don't like Foxy, which is we got those hot takes. Also, I feel like we're not sexualizing the characters that are like kind of lined up to be sexualized because what's the
children.
point? Also, there's children. So like
they haven't sexualized the one adult yet.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know, because what's the point? We don't know. I don't care. I'm married.
Yeah.
I don't need to fantasize about fucking anime children.
Guess what? I'm never gonna meet any of these characters. So,
Someday we're gonna find these characters. We're gonna go to Japan and we're gonna find them in real life. And their live action, just like Oda did. He wrote the character, and then the person was found in real life, and then now he's married to Nami.
I'm gonna start cosplaying as Foxy.
That's how you find a crew, and you find your one true love. Hamburg.
Oh man, his entire crew's design is so fun. I'll get into it. We're going to talk about it in the filler episode. It's fine.
Yeah, we have a 3-episode arc that's called Foxy's Return. I think you're going to have plenty to talk about Foxy.
I'm so happy. I wish he joined the Straw Hats.
You never know. It might happen. Who's to say?
Oh, dude. Be great.
He
would be an asset.
Yeah. An ass.
He's not even that bad. He lies less than Usopp does.
I've got a little evil idea. He's fine.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm going to do something so bad. I'm telling you that I'm going to cheat. This is how I'm going to cheat, and then I do it. And then it's like,
anyway, hey, Roro, thank you for becoming a new fan.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Not sure if you're in yet, but join the Discord.
The link is in the description. It should also be in the episode description on Spotify or wherever your podcasts are. It's also in the description of our Instagram, which is just Fun Piece Podcast. So there are plenty of links all over the place that you can just click on to join the Discord. We would love to have you. We've actually been getting a few new folks in the Discord lately as well, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
Welcome to all of you. It's very, very exciting to see y'all joining in on the silly fun times. We're having a wonderful time seeing you all. Look at all these fuckers. These motherfuckers. Look at all these motherfuckers joining the Discord, baby.
And thankfully everybody's very respectful and
everyone is very chill and respectful, and we appreciate that.
As far as we know, there are 3 channels we're not allowed in because they're all spoilers.
It's true. Spoiler Island could be fucked and we would never know. I think that's also hilarious.
Tread lightly. That's the historian's territory. We don't touch that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're probably being respectful in there because historian will like kill a motherfucker.
I've got like a bot in place and stuff. If people are like say anything racist or bad, if anyone but I think me, Matt, and the historian say like type out Clawhador's name, it will ban you for like 5 minutes.
That's the greatest thing I've ever heard. Yeah. I fucking love that. Hell yeah. Anyway, thanks, Roro, for the transponder snail. Everybody else, thank you so much for listening.
Yeah.
We love you so much. Yeah.
What do you think the One Piece is?
I think it's a millennial dragon.